You know, I was really looking forward to today since Ben told me that he had a beautiful sister that he knew I would love. But I show up to the dinner, and who does he introduce me to? Some ugly old lady. I mean, I wasn't expecting much, but you really showed me a new kind of love today. What? I was born an only child, so I've always wanted an older sister since I was a little girl. A beautiful, perfect older sister who is mature and can help me with anything in life. But I guess what I get is an ugly old lady who doesn't even seem reliable for anything. I don't need a sister if this is what I'm getting.
Sabrina? Are you okay? I thought we just became friends after getting to know each other at the dinner earlier. Why are you saying these things to me?
Of course, I'm going to act friendly with you if Ben's there. But the truth is that I was really disappointed by you. I was really excited to meet you since Ben kept bringing you up about how proud he was to have you as his older sister. So, I dressed up all nice and showed up to see a wrinkly old lady waiting for us. How is it even possible that the two of you were born 10 years apart? I just wanted to go home at that point, but I didn't want Ben to feel bad for bringing me, so I just acted as nice as I could.
And you think it's the right thing to do to say all of those horrible things to my face after we leave? Couldn't you have at least kept those thoughts to yourself? Preferably to the grave? It isn't too hard to imagine how someone would feel after being called an ugly old lady, you know?
I told you all of this because I feel the need to make things clear.
What do you mean?
Wasn't I adorable at the dinner, all smiley and happy? Well, I didn't want you to get the wrong idea and start treating me like a younger sister, so I told you how I really felt.
This is why I have trust issues. Whatever, good for you.
The bottom line is, don't talk to me ever again, okay? I don't want to be seen talking to some old hag like you, and nor do I want to waste my time talking to you.
Could you stop mocking me just because you're young? You're going to end up regretting it when you're my age, trust me.
Do you really think I'm making fun of your age itself just because I'm younger than you? I would never do that. I know that I'll be your age one day too.
It sounds like that's exactly what you're doing right now. Why would you make fun of me for being an ugly old hag if it wasn't because I'm old?
Because you're ugly. Besides, I'm not even making fun of you. I just hate being near people like you, so I'm being very honest with you and myself.
I don't understand a single thing you're saying.
I'm saying that it's not a matter of choice. I just inherently hate being near people like you, and I can't help it. A lot of ladies who are over their 30s are so obnoxious and full of pride, and I absolutely hate people like that. See, I have a proper reason to repel you as a person.
What kind of reason is that? It's not like every single person that's over 30 is mean.
No, every single one of you is horribly mean. Just take a look at my workspace, and you'll see that I'm telling the truth.
What?
All the women over 30 there are so prideful and unkind. They're all jealous of me because I'm so young, and they practically bully me like in grade school. So I decided that the best thing to do in response is to hate their guts back.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
As a matter of fact, it really isn't just the people who I work with, it's every single middle-aged person. They all disgust me. So I decided to hate everyone who's over 30 years old. That's why I hate you as well, Molly. I wish you people who hate young people just because you're jealous should all just disappear.
Hey Ben, I want to talk about Sabrina with you. Do you have a minute?
Yeah? What's up?
Well, it seems that Sabrina hates my guts.
What? Why'd she hate you? You guys barely met. She seemed to like you a lot at the dinner last night.
That's what I thought too, but I received a text from her today. She said that she couldn't believe that the two of us were 10 years apart, and that she didn't want an ugly old hag that's over 30 to be her older sister.
She said that to you?
Yeah, but don't misunderstand her. Apparently, she's been through a lot with her colleagues at work. And now she has a sort of phobia towards people who are middle-aged or older.
What do you mean she has a phobia? And why'd that apply to you?
She said that her colleagues at work have been very unkind towards her, and that the people who attacked her for being young are all over 30 years old. So she started to grow and initiate fear for people around that age inside of her.
So now she hates you just because you're in the same age frame as her. How does that make any sense? Just because you're the same age as them doesn't mean you're as mean or disrespectful as those people.
Well, it seems like it makes sense in her mind. She told me not to speak to her ever again, and that she has no intentions of getting close to me. But, I mean, we are, as a matter of fact, becoming in-laws, so I was wondering if you had any ideas as to how I could become closer to Sabrina.
First things first, I'm sorry for all this. I didn't even think that Sabrina would be capable of saying such mean things to anyone. In her name, I apologise.
It's fine, and it's nothing for you to apologize about.
Thanks. So this is all because of her trouble at work, huh? That's probably the reason why she's been so insistent on becoming a stay-at-home wife after we get married.
What?
I've actually heard about the fact that she's been having some trouble at work on a few occasions. She's been asking me over and over again if she could just take care of the home instead of the both of us working. So if her problems at work are getting to her that badly, then that's probably why she doesn't want to be there anymore. But it'll be difficult for me to single-handedly make enough money for the both of us to have good lives. But even when I recommend that she move to another workplace, she told me that she was mentally broken after working at her old job. So I'm not too sure what the best move is to make at this point.
I probably wouldn't know what to do either if I was in your shoes. Realistically speaking, if you don't have enough money, then there aren't many options. But then again, I know it's difficult for you to ask your wife to work, even though she's so mentally worn out.
Exactly. I just concluded that I need to work as hard as I can for the both of us. We'll see where that takes us. I've always had a reputation for my endless energy. I can work from day in to day out and I'll be completely fine.
That doesn't sound like too great of a plan to me. Are you sure you're going to be happy living like that?
Of course, I'll be happy. I'm sure Sabrina will gradually get better, if I can give her some time to rest at home. And if she's better, then I'm happy. I'll also be sure to tell her how much you've helped me throughout life, and how much of an amazing person you are. Maybe that way she'll be able to acknowledge that some people are more respectable than others. She'll be willing to become closer to you.
I hope so. Sorry for causing another problem for the two of you.
You haven't caused anything, don't worry about it.
Thanks, Ben.
Of course, and thanks for coming to the dinner with us yesterday. It really did mean a lot. Sabrina and I are going to have the best wedding that you've ever been to, so get ready for that.
I can't believe you! How could you do this to me? Why the hell did you push me into the pool? This is the first time in my life anyone's ever done something so horrible to me.
Oh, well, sorry for stealing your first time. This was the only way I could think of. No hard feelings, okay?
What do you mean?
I wanted you to go home no matter what. I didn't want you at my wedding. But you wouldn't just leave even if I told you to, would you? So I thought about how to get you to leave no matter what. That's when I came up with the idea to sabotage your outfit so you wouldn't be able to stay. So I just pushed you into the pool.
What? So you just decided that it was okay to push me into the pool? You're crazy!
What else was I supposed to do? I hate old ladies like you. Did you expect me to just sit still and watch while you ruin my once-in-a-lifetime experience?
How many times do I have to tell you that I'm not an old lady? I thought Ben explained that I wasn't the horrible person that you thought I was.
Yes, he did, and it made me hate you even more.
What?
Ben's a very family-first type of guy. He sat beside me and spoke about you and how you're an amazing person and that I had the wrong impression about you. You were always a caring older sister who would always take care of Ben when his parents couldn't, right? But the more he spoke about you, the more I became annoyed that he sounded like he loved someone else more than me. So the more he tries to make me like you, the more I hate you.
How does that make sense?
He's been especially annoying about you lately. No matter where we are, he starts talking about you. I absolutely hate the way you've made him. And I absolutely hate you yourself even more.
Don't you get it? The only reason that Ben's been talking about me a lot was because he wanted us to get along with each other. He cares about the both of us, and he'd give anything for us to be good sisters-in-law.
Well, he's failed miserably to accomplish that. I mean, you can't just unhate something that you absolutely despise, can you? It was the best feeling over to push you into that pool. From now on, I might just push any old person over when no one's looking.
Sabrina.
Well then, you better get going, old lady. I don't want you to make the wedding hall dirty with your wet clothes.
Whatever. I don't even want to go anyways.
Bye-bye. The wedding's about to begin, by the way. I'm about to have the time of my life.
I will go home. But let me say one last thing to you. I really did try to meet in the middle with you, but I guess I'm allowed to give up on you after what you've done to me today. You're going to regret pushing me into that pool.
That's great. We'll see you then.
I can't take you anymore. I'll make sure that you'll never forgive yourself for this. Be prepared.
You're starting to get annoying. Just go home and tuck yourself into bed, you wet old hag. The exit's that way.
Even if you beg on your knees while crying, I won't stop you.
Do you need some therapy or what? It's always the old ladies and their endless, meaningless conversations. You're the same as all the others, so shut up. Molly, please come back to the wedding hall, please. Ben's with you, isn't he? Please just bring him back.
Yes, Ben's with me. My kind little brother got worried about his soaking wet older sister and made sure that I got home safe.
Well, please tell him to come back to the wedding this instant. The whole crowd is panicking because he won't show up. The workers are saying that they're going to have to call the wedding off if the groom won't show up.
You don't have to worry about that, honey. I heard Ben making a call to the wedding company earlier. He was talking about calling the wedding off anyways.
What? Why on earth would he do that?
Gee, I wonder why, Sabrina. Why would I ever want to get married to you if this was who you really were? Really, pushing your own fiancé's older sister into a pool before the wedding. Seriously.
Ben, is that you?
I can't believe this. If you didn't like how I was talking about my sister so much, then why didn't you just let me know? You should have just said that you would have hated me no matter what I did. Then I would have thought of other ways to have you two get to know each other. But you just ruined it, all by pushing her into a pool before our wedding. What kind of psycho comes up with an idea like that?
Please don't call me a psycho, honey. I just needed her to leave, and that was the way that I was sure would get her to leave.
That was your idea? After thinking everything through? Well then, I guess I just saved my children from inheriting your tiny brain genetics.
How could you say that?
I'm not even mad anymore. I'm disappointed. The wedding's over, and I'm regretting that I ever got engaged to you. We're getting divorced as soon as we get the chance.
Wait, please, just wait a minute. I don't want to get divorced from you.
I don't care. This is the only option that's left for me. I can't get married to someone who can't value my family the same way I do.
Wait, we can talk this out. I know that you're angry right now, but please, just think about how I felt.
What do you mean?
You know this, don't you? That all of the old ladies at work would bully me and treat me horribly. And that I hate everyone that I consider to be an old lady. I have a valid reason to hate your sister. And if you're my fiancé, then you should be understanding towards these things.
Stop acting like the victim. You get hated on because you slack off at work, right?
Well?
I tried my very best to be as understanding as I could towards you. So I contacted your workplace, see if they could take any actions to make things better for you. They told me that they would run some checks and interviews to see if there really was any issue.
What? You contacted them?
Yeah, because I cared for you. And I couldn't bear to keep seeing you so worn out because of your work. I was ready to go as far as to hire a lawyer and sue the company for it.
Oh no.
But what do I receive in response? A call to come over to their office to address some issues with you. They told me that after inspection and interviews, they came to the conclusion that you were the one who was making them look bad. You were making fun of your senior colleagues as soon as you first got into the company, weren't you? I heard that you would ridicule the other workers because you were the only young one there.
No, this is a misunderstanding.
No, it ain't, Sabrina. They even called over your colleagues to talk face to face with me.
What?
They had some of the things that you said to them recorded as proof. I got to listen to some of them. I heard my fiancé call people hags, make fun of their physical features. Let me ask you how you thought that wouldn't be hated at work if you treated everyone around you like that. I'm not on your side anymore. As a matter of fact, no one is.
Please don't say that, Ben.
Your colleagues aren't in the wrong. My sister ain't in the wrong. If anything, this means that you were just harassing my older sister for no apparent reason. You better give her a proper apology sometime soon. And know that I'll never forgive you for this.
Ben!
My sister is 10 years older than me. So what? I'm sure my sister had a difficult time figuring out how to deal with such a young brother. But she was always there to help me with my homework. She even cooked when my parents were working until late. But my sister is the best sister in the world.
Ben, I'll apologize for every single word I've said until now, so please, don't leave me. Please come back. We can still finish the wedding. Everyone gathered just to congratulate us. We can't just make them leave, can we?
I don't care. Wedding is cancelled, and that's final. I'll make sure that the cancellation fee goes to you, so be prepared for that.
Please forgive me for everything I've done. I know that I can't take back what I said, but I regret everything deeply, so please help me get back together with Ben. He's already made up his mind about the divorce, and I can't get him to listen to me. Just sign the divorce papers, Sabrina. I want my little brother to get married to someone who can make him the happiest boy in the world. And I'm sorry, but you've proven to us yourself that you aren't that someone. Please don't say something like that. I'll be a completely different person from now on. I'll be unbelievable friendly to you. What? You've taken very good care of your brother that's 10 years younger than you, haven't you? Then I'm sure you could do the same with a younger sister as young. Please think of me as a younger sister and take good care of me. Why the hell would I want to take care of you? I hate your guts. Huh? Asking me for help won't do you any good, so you should just give up on that and give up altogether and just get a divorce from my brother. I'll never get divorced. We just got married to each other. And I still love Ben. Well, it looks like Ben doesn't love you back anymore. He even went as far as to say that he doesn't even remotely feel any interest in you. He hates me that much? I mean, I guess I was a little annoying, but all I did was have fun making fun of old ladies. The way you say it, all I did, just goes to show off how little you regret doing what you did. I'm confident that Ben won't even bother listening to whatever you have to say with that mentality like that. So just get the divorce done with and go gather money to pay for the cancellation fee and compensation. What? What do you mean compensations? Isn't that money that people who cheat have to pay? I never cheated on Ben. You pay compensation when you force mental pain on someone else. It doesn't have to be cheating. When you pushed your fiancé's older sister into a pool. My brother had to endure mental pain because of that, and I endured mental pain as well. I need you to pay for my dress and purse since they got injured by the water. But are you finally starting to realize the scale of what you started between us? Well, that's the idea. So neither I nor my brother will go easy on you. We won't be making any deductions towards the price, and make sure it's a one-time payment. A one-time payment? Good luck. It's scary when a 30-year-old ugly hag gets mad, isn't it? Ha! After Sabrina finally gave up, she signed the divorce paper, making the divorce official. On top of that, the cancellation fee and compensation added up to $80,000. After borrowing money from several shady organizations and her own payments, Sabrina was finally able to make the payment. After that, she was fired from her job for everything she'd done to her colleagues. Now she's trying to get married to a rich man by attending matchmaking parties, hosted all over the state. However, most of the other attendees are college students in their 20s, so she's getting made fun of like never before, being 25.
Hey Nick, are you there? I was just wondering if you were still going to be coming home early.
Oh, hey Alice. I'm sorry, but it's still too early for me to tell.
Oh, I see. Well, I was just asking because your mom was calling earlier. And she was asking about if she could come over to have dinner with us.
Did she say that? Well, if you guys want to have dinner, you might have to eat without me.
So you mean you want me to have dinner alone with your mom?
What is that supposed to mean? Do you have some kind of problem with my mom? She's your family too now, you know? Don't tell me you have some kind of issue with her now.
Well, it's just, I thought that I told you about how your mom and I don't get along all that well. I mean, whenever she calls, all she talks to me about is having children and how I can take better care of the house. So, honestly, no, I don't really like having to spend one-on-one time with her.
Well, nobody can do anything about the fact that you can't have any kids, but at least you can do is try to make my mom feel better about the whole thing.
I have nothing but respect for your mom, Nick. I hope you know that. But I just can't understand why it is that she dislikes me this much.
I don't know. I think she's getting to the age where she's really wanting to have grandchildren. I mean, we've already been married for 3 years, you know? So even I'm starting to get just a little bit worried about when you're finally going to get pregnant.
I get that, and it's something I think about too. But I just wish that you would take my side a little more often.
And just why would I do that? What is there even to take sides on?
Well, I just mean that having a baby is something that has to be done between two people, right?
I know how babies are made. Thank you very much. What is your point? What are you trying to get at here? Huh?
I'm just saying that I can't make a baby on my own, so maybe the issue isn't all with me.
Oh, I see what this is about. You're saying that this is all my fault, aren't you? You're blaming me for why we don't have a baby.
That's not what I'm saying at all, but I just wish that you wouldn't act like we all knew it was my fault either.
I don't know what you want me to do about that. If you can't get pregnant, then I don't see who else's fault that would even be.
But Nick, I went to go and talk to the doctors and they told me that I didn't have anything wrong with me. So then you think that it all might be just the timing of having the baby? Because like I said, the doctors don't think that it's anything that I'm doing wrong.
Well, I know that I don't have anything wrong with me either, so there. How can you say that you're not doing anything wrong when it's been 3 years and you're still not pregnant? As far as I'm concerned, there's no other problem that can be preventing us from having kids besides you. Or maybe you and I just aren't as compatible as we thought. Maybe we just waited too long. I mean, we were in our 20s when we got married, and now we're already in our 30s. I think that I was better off trying to find someone younger to marry. Then at least I could be sure that her ovaries weren't all shivered up like yours.
How could you say something like that to me? I know plenty of women who have had kids at my age.
Well then, why don't you try for once, huh? Honestly, how about you worry about your own issues before you complain about my mom?
Okay, fine then, but I just want to let you know that all of this pressure your mom is putting on me is going to affect me. If I'm stressed out all the time, then the chances that I'll get pregnant get much, much lower. So if you really do want me to get pregnant, then you should just ask your mom to back off a little.
This is the first time I've ever heard of that. You probably just made that up so you can try and deflect from what I'm telling you.
You've really never heard of that? I don't just get stressed when your mom talks to me. That stress follows me throughout my day.
I don't get how you think you're qualified to talk about stress when you're just a housewife anyways. Don't you know how many women are out there working a full-time job while pregnant?
I know that, but I still don't think that you're being fair to me.
Why can't you just listen to what my mom has to say? You know that everything she has to say is all for your own sake, right? Besides, you'll only be with her for a few hours. It's not going to be that bad.
Nick, it's already 11 o'clock. When are you going to be coming home?
I'm sorry, Alice, but I'm actually not going to be coming home today at all. It's too late, and I don't think the trains are going to be running by the time I get off. So I'll just find somewhere to post up for the night, and I'll go to work just like that in the morning.
Nick, you've been coming home later and later lately. Is your work really that busy?
Of course it's busy. That's why I haven't been able to come home on time. But you don't have to worry about me. If I tell you that I'm going to be coming home late, you can just eat dinner and go to bed before me.
I guess I can do this, but I just was really hoping that you'd start coming back home at your regular time this month.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. It's not up to me. It's up to my work, and they still want me around.
Well, did you know that your mom has been calling our house every single day? And all she ever has to talk to me about is when I'm finally going to get pregnant.
Well, I'm glad that she's keeping it in the back of her head, because I want kids too, you know? I just wish that we didn't have to deal with this awkward timing, you know? Men are actually really delicate when it comes to, well, making babies. We're not like women where we can just go whenever. The conditions have to be just right for us.
Do you really think that I'm just ready to go at the drop of a hat, Nick?
What are you talking about? Of course women are always ready to go. All they have to do is lie there. It's the men who do all the work.
Well, you have to actually do that work first if you want me to get pregnant.
Oh yeah, because you do so much to get me in the mood when it's time. In fact, ever since you quit your job, you've really been putting on weight. Did you know that? I don't know if you've noticed, but even the other women who are your age look much better than you do. Why do you think that I'd want to sleep with a woman like you?
Nick, you are no spring chicken yourself, but I'll also remind you that we're the same age.
Okay, well, even if we are the same age, you still look way worse for wear compared to your peers. It's just like all of your life has drained from you. You used to be so pretty, and now the spark just isn't there. And then, when I do get home, all you do is talk about getting pregnant.
I only bring it up so often because your mom is calling the house every day to talk to me about it. Maybe if you could talk to your mom and stand up for me a little more, then this wouldn't be happening.
You really think you know more about being a good wife and mother than my mom? How about you quit being so high in might and just take her advice?
What I don't get is why you both seem to think that I'm the only one with the problem when it comes to having a kid. Why are you both so quick to assume that the issue is with me? I'm not trying to blame you, but I'm saying that if we both wanted to have kids, then we should try and be more supportive of each other. Because if you're not going to stand up for me and just let your mom keep berating me like this, well, I don't want to live like this. In fact, your mom even told me that I should just divorce you. Can you believe that?
I told you that you should have just tried and listened to my mom when you had the chance, but now she just wants her grandchildren. Not to mention the fact that even if we had a girl, I know she would want us to keep going until we had a son. So that's why you have to get pregnant now. Who knows if we'll need to have more in the future to make my mom happy.
I don't think that we should be having kids for your mom's sake. It should be something we want.
Well, we're all waiting on you either way. So if you're not going to change anything, you don't have any right to complain. Also, I am sick and tired of hearing you complain about my mom. So don't talk to me about her or getting pregnant anymore. Got it?
Then what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to deal with all of this?
How about you just figured that out on your own, huh? Anyways, I've got work to do, so just leave me alone.
Nick, I really need you to come home early today. You and I have something to talk about.
Whatever it is, you should be able to talk to me about it through text. I still don't know when I'll be able to leave.
But I just really want to talk about this with you face to face.
And I'm telling you that we're going to text each other or we're not going to talk at all. Got it?
Okay, fine then. If that's the way you want it, I know that you're cheating on me.
Excuse me? What are you talking about, Alice?
I mean that I saw you walking arm in arm with that woman on the sidewalk. You both looked so happy.
You saw me walking with some lady on the street? So that's why you think I'm cheating on you? Do you even know who she was?
But her arms were wrapped around yours, and then you both went into an apartment.
Hold on a sec. Are you telling me that you've been stalking me? Man, you're a real creep. Do you know that?
Well, I had never seen this woman before, and I have no idea why else you'd be letting her cling on to you like that.
Man, you really are a little weird sometimes. But do you even have any proof of what you're saying at all? Do you have any witnesses who can back up any of this? Any photos or videos or anything like that?
No, I don't have anything like that at all.
Oh, I see. So you just see me walking around with another woman and you assumed I was cheating. Well, if that's all, then I think we're done here.
That's not all that's going on here, Nick. I mean, you've been making some really weird purchases for the past few months. I saw in your credit card statements that you were going to a women's clothing shop and other brand name stores. Not only that, but you've been telling me all about how busy you are, and yet you managed to go out of state for a meal on a weekend you said you were in the office.
And so what? It's not like I wasn't working then. Besides, I have a lot of reasons for the things that I do, and I don't need to explain them all to you. You've got some nerve trying to piece together my actions through my spending. I really don't know what I'm going to do with you. Maybe my mom was right. Maybe I should leave a barren woman like you.
I am not barren. I told you the doctor said that I'd be able to have kids.
And yet we've been married for 3 years now and still nothing. So if you're not barren, then what are you? And don't you even try to suggest that this is all my fault. We both know that's not the truth.
But how can you be so sure about that? I mean, have you even gone to get examined?
No, I haven't, and there's no need for that anyway. But whatever. Again, it's not my job to explain my life to you. Why don't you pack up your bags and go back to your parents? I'm going to find a younger woman who can actually have kids.
You are just the worst. Do you know that?
Well, trust me, the feeling is more than mutual. And do think that you went to a good school, have a nice job. You were so close to being the perfect bride, if only you could have kids. But I guess that's just a dream for you now. I just hope you never manage to trick another man into marrying you again.
So you're saying you only wanted to marry me because of the information you could find on my resume?
No, it wasn't just that. But all of that showed that you came from a good family with money and brains, not to mention you used to be so pretty. But then you quit your job, put on a few pounds, and now you're just washed up. It was wrong for you to become a housewife.
You do remember that the only reason I quit in the first place was because your mom didn't think a woman should be working after getting married, right?
Well, she thought that you weren't getting pregnant because you were still working, but now the whole thing was pointless anyways. Just a waste of time that could have been spent on making us money. I should never have married a barren old hag like you.
You and your mom are both just awful. Do you know that? I really don't know what I'm going to do with you both.
That's how I feel about you. But I seriously doubt that anyone is ever going to want to marry you once they find out we were divorced for you being infertile. So let's just sign the divorce papers and get this over with. I never ever want to see your face again. Hey Alice, are you there? Heard you got married, but man, your choice of men must have been great. I mean, just look at him. You can tell that there's probably wasn't a single other woman that would have ever wanted to be with a guy like that.
Nick, what in the world do you think you're doing messaging me like this? Why do you think you have any right at all to comment on my husband? You don't know anything about him.
Well, I tried to talk to you, but you completely ignored me. I thought you would have at least said hi to me. I mean, who would have guessed that we would meet again the way we did, right? It was totally random.
And even so, why in the world do you think that I'd want to say a word to you?
I guess your attitude really has only gotten worse as you've gotten older, huh? I really am glad that we got a divorce when we did. That way I didn't have to waste another day of my life with you. You should know that my wife is pregnant with our second kid now. And this time it's going to be a boy, so we couldn't be happier right now.
Well, good for you. I also gave birth to a son.
Don't lie to me. I already know that you can't have children, unless it's a stepchild, but I wouldn't say that you birthed him.
Well, that's because I'm not talking about a stepchild. I'm talking about a child that I had with my husband.
So you could have children after all, huh? Well, I guess maybe it was just that we weren't compatible.
I don't think so. I think you were the one that couldn't have any kids, Nick.
What are you talking about? I literally just told you that I had a kid with a second child on the way. How could I be infertile?
Are you really sure that those kids are yours?
Just what are you getting at, huh?
I mean that ever since we got divorced, I've gone to several more clinics to get second opinions, and no doctor has found any issues with me. In fact, all the doctors have suggested that any issues that might have existed between you and I in terms of having kids were probably your fault.
Well, it sounds to me like you've been going to see a bunch of cranks who don't know what they're talking about.
Tell me, how many doctors have you gone to since we parted ways? In fact, you should know that I actually looked into what you were up to all this time, Nick. You said that you weren't cheating on me, but that was a lie, wasn't it? In fact, the woman you were seeing was pregnant before we even got divorced, wasn't she? I guess that explains why you were so sure that none of this was your fault, wasn't it?
Exactly. I knew from the very start that I wasn't the problem. I knew the problem was always you.
And you're sure that this Marie girl's kids are really yours?
So you know her name too, huh? Well, yes. I know for a fact they're my kids.
Well, you should know that I did even more looking into Marie, and you aren't the only person she's seeing. I'm sure that you had no idea about any of this, but you might want to look more into her.
What? No, that can't be right. You're lying to me.
I'm not lying at all. Did you think that I just guessed her name? No, I've done my homework.
But no, you don't know who she is at all. You're just passing around rumors.
Okay, well, then I assume you must know all about the terrible schools that she attended as well, right?
That can't be right. She told me that she went to one of the top universities in the country.
I see. Well, have you ever seen any diploma from there? Or have you ever been able to confirm if that's true? Because when I looked into her, all I found was a diploma from a very average state school. But that's okay, school isn't everything, and at least you seem happy with this woman.
But was she really lying to me? Are you being serious about this? This is a huge problem if you're telling the truth. What have I been working so hard for if she's out sleeping around on me?
I would assume it's because you love your family and want to provide for them, right?
There's no point in providing for kids that aren't even mine. I would never have married her if I knew that was the case.
Well, I don't see why you're talking to me about this. I mean, you and I aren't even married anymore. It sounds to me like you've got a lot of work that needs to be done and some long and hard conversations that need to be had.
But, I mean, you told me about all of this. I wouldn't have known about all of this if it weren't for you. Please, you have to help me.
I don't have to do anything, thank you very much. In fact, since I know that you were cheating on me while we were married, the only thing that you have coming to you is a lawsuit.
You mean, after all this, you're going to sue me? Come on.
After that, I heard through the grapevine that Nick confronted Marie about what I had told him. He made her agree to a DNA test for her children, and in the end, he found out that he indeed was not the father of his first child or the one he was expecting. He went to the doctor who gave him an examination and ran some tests only to find that he was not, in fact, able to have children. The truth was that Nick has always suspected his first child might not have been his, but he never wanted to ask Marie without reason to. As Nick dealt with the fallout of recent revelations, I began my lawsuit for his affair. I won easily, and Nick and Marie were forced to take out loans to pay me. Because of that, they felt that they shouldn't divorce to pay back things sooner. And yet I hear from neighbors that shouting can be heard coming from their apartment almost every night now. Either way, I'm just glad that it's not my problem anymore. As for me, I went to go and live with my parents for a bit after the divorce. Then I used the lawsuit money to move into a nice condo. I've been very much enjoying the newfound freedom.